Hello everyone, I am Dr. Mythili, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Biotechnology, K.S. Rangasamy College of Technology, Tiruchengodu, and I am here to have a discussion with you all young minds about the concept of dieting and balanced diet workout on the occasion of celebration of National Nutrition Week. I take this opportunity to thank all the conveners and the organizing secretaries for the national level workshop on nutrition healthcare. I also personally thank Dr. Prema, who's head of the Department of Botany, and Dr. Boneshwari, principal ma'am of Arulmigu Parni and our Arts College of Women Parni. So for taking an immense workout on this organization of this national level workshop, and this initiative is going to be a wonderful one for you all to have a lifelong nutritional support, and I'm very glad to be a part of this one to teach you what is the concept of dieting. So it is going to be very helpful for you to have a wonderful diet, and you will also know how to work out on your diet too. So now let us go into the brief of the dieting topic. So first let me describe about what is the diet. So before going into that, we all know the term diet for a long period of time. So for that we have specific terminologies and definitions. So according to me, what is diet is something that is performed in a regulatory way. So everything when it is regulated have some rules and regulations to be followed, then we call it as regulated one, or rules and regulations are proposed to follow that thing. And diet is one such thing. When we perform that diet in a regulated way, then we call it as practice in a regulated way, then we call it as a diet. So it should be practiced along with continuous monitoring. So if there is a disease, and if we get any disease, then what will we do? We continuously go for checking, diagnosis, and we monitor our disease levels and how we are improving. Similar pattern should be used for diet also. So that is the perfect term for diet. A diet which is having a regulated food intake under continuous monitoring. So this diet has influence on two factors. So one is weight and another one is disease. So first let's see about the weight. So what types of weight is there and how this is going to be regulated with the diet. So accordingly, there are two types of weight personalities. One is who's having a high weight, increased weight, and want to go for a thin structure. And next one is a person with a obese nature want to go for a thin nature. And the second type of category is the thin person who want to go have a personality of a thick structure, that is somewhat chubby or fat one. So first let's see about a person who want to have a structure of increased weight. So there are some persons who have the structure of very thin and look very awkward and feel for that too. So I'm so thin and not so structured, and I want to become a structured woman. So we're all conscious about our beauty and structure. As women and girls, we also have considerable importance on our beauty. So that persons who want to become somewhat fat, so they have to build up those fat muscles in a proper way, not with the junk foods. So this muscle should be built up in certain areas that gives you structure. So for that, if we practice this diet and have an increased weight, then that is the first type of category. So if we increase the weight through a healthy way, then we are going to be a wonderful person, a mindfulness person. And next is the second category of weight, where we go for choosing the option of decreased weight. So these are peoples who wants to have a thin structure. So they always feel about their thick the chubby nature and obese nature and want to become a thin. So those peoples have a specific diet platform in this thing. So now we'll be going for another factor called disease. So here in the part of diet, we have certain diets that will prevent us from disease and that will be helpful for us to treat the disease. And one such thing is cancer and diabetes, hypertension and obesity. These are the common diseases which have impact on our lifestyle. So these diseases can be prevented as well as treated with proper diet plan. So that is the main thing, and that is the main impact of this diet in our life to prevent the diseases. So once if you get any diseases that has changed in your lifestyle, then you can surely use specific diet pattern and help the disease to get rid of from your body. And if you want to be healthy person without struck up of any diseases, then again you can choose specific diet pattern and have a this sort of dieting to prevent the diseases. So some of the diseases which are widely proven to have this diet regulated for preventing diseases and treating diseases are going to be elaborated for you in detail. So the main diseases that can be prevented is cancer, and if you get the cancer, then there are certain diet plans that it will help you to go for curing the diseases. And there are some diseases like diabetes and obesity which can be managed with the help of some dietary plan. So with this, we will go in detail with the types of dieting which is going to help you in a great way to choose your diet pattern. So now there are different types of diet classification. So first we can move on to the classification like therapeutic diets. So these are diets that is going to cure your disease. So this type of classification has number of diets in this category. So first one is regular diet. So we should have some sort of diet pattern that is regular in our routine. And next one is liquid diet. This is a diet where you will be supplemented with plenty of liquids that will satisfy your nutritional level. And next one is soft diet. You will have all foods in a soft nature chosen with specific nutrients. And next one is diabetic diet, calorie control diet, low cholesterol diet, fat restricted diet, sodium restricted diet, protein diet, bland diet, low residue diet. So every diet which I have mentioned here have influence in treating certain diseases. For example, diabetic diet will help you to reduce the glucose level. And for example, low cholesterol diet will help you to prevent from some of the cardiac diseases. And fat restricted diet is also same category. And next is sodium restricted diet. This diet will help you to get rid of certain diseases like hypertension. Next is protein diet, and the bland diet is especially for person who is having ulcerative. And similarly, low residue level diet is for kidney disease person. And with this, we can move on to the next type of classification of the diet. So this diet is based on the blood group. So we all know we have 4 different types of common blood groups. So what are they? That is type A, type O, type B and type B, AB. So this type of blood groups have a common food pattern which is found to be very effective. So if we follow these foods that are suitable for our blood type, then we can have a wonderful mindset. So in order to follow this, what you all need to know is your blood group. So as of an young personality and knowledgeable personality, we all know our blood groups, right? So guess what is the blood group that is high in our country? Yes. The population that is more in our country have the B positive blood group. So these are some of the blood type diet chart which you can take up for your specific blood group. So if you are A blood group person, then you can go for a vegetarian diet where you will be allowed to take up this sort of diets, and these are the diets or food lists that we should avoid if we are a category of A blood group. And these are the food that helps you to have a weight loss which we can take for that particular diet. So based on the blood group, you can choose your type of diet if you want to decrease the weight. So now I'm going to go for next classification. So which is low carb diet, and this is one of the important diet. So in this low carb diet, there are other classification also which I am going to explain in the consecutive slides. So first let me explain what is carb. So as we all know, carb is a synonym or similar to that of carbohydrate. So low carb diet indicates that we should go for a diet pattern which is having low carbohydrates. Guess what are the food groups that is present in our food? There are three major groups. One is carbohydrate, another one is protein, and another one is fat. So apart from this, there is a minor group called micronutrients group, so which will accompany your vitamins and minerals. So here this carbohydrate foods are called as energy foods. So in the term, it is going to supply you with high calorific value. So if you avoid this carbohydrates, then you can say that diet as low carb diet. So you can take a small portion of carbohydrate in your diet, but you should not go for a high carbohydrate diet. So if you take up this carbohydrate in a low manner, so what are the benefits that you are going to get? Yes, so you are going to have a decreased weight. So since we have become some of our workers in a community where we put less physical work, our energy which we are burning out is very less when we compare to take our food with a high energy. So if you are taking food with a high energy, then you should burn lot of calories, but we are not doing it. So what happens is the excess carbohydrates will turn into energy or calories and get stored in our adipose tissue. So again we are going to add up our weight. So this can be avoided if we perform the low carbohydrate diet. So always choose low carbohydrate diet if you want to choose a weight loss. So next, some of the synonym of your low carbohydrate diet or low calorie diet, low sugar, or no fat. So guess this is all is going to influence something which is related to particular disease. What it is? Actually there are two diseases. So one is diabetes and another one is heart diseases. So the thing is, if you take high carbohydrates, then your calorie is going to increase. Then what happens is your cholesterol is going to get accumulated more, and in turn you are going to get either diabetes or your heart diseases. So always go for taking a low carbohydrate diet. And similarly, I would like to add upon some information on sugars. So if you take up a food which is rich in carbohydrate in a particular meal serve, then you should avoid something called as sugar. So after the meal, if you're going to take a 1 tumbler of juice which is having 1 spoon of sugar, the calorific value that you get from your meal per serving of meal is going to be equivalent to that 1 spoon of sugar. So avoid using sugar so that you can reduce your calorific value in your daily day-to-day life food habits. And now I'm going to tell about some other important types of diet which is having an influence on. Next, I'm going to tell you about something very interesting, that is important diet that is going to work out well for everyone. Yes, so there are 5 different types of diet which is going to work out for everyone. So here are the 5 different types of diet that is going to work out for everyone. So first one is paleo diet. So as of now, this is trending like anything. So this paleo diet is the diet that is followed in the persons who lived in cave age. And the next type is vegans. Here the people believe that only vegetarian has the influence. So these are the 5 important diets which can exclusively reduce your weight. So this sometimes when followed as a single diet pattern, then this is not going to have a much impact. So if you follow all these 5 diet types in a particular way, then it is going to have a great impact in reducing your weight. So next is vegan diet. So where you'll be devoid of total meat and the dairy products. So next one is raw foodies. So this is the diet pattern where you'll be allowed to eat only foods in a raw manner due to the fact that the cooked food will not have much of the nutrients which will be lost due to cooking. And the next type of diet is gluten-free diet. So this gluten is the one sort of protein that is present in some of the grains like wheat. So this gluten, when induces some allergic reaction or inflammation reactions in your body, then it is going to have a bad impact on your whole health and mind. So this is one type of diet where you should avoid foods that is prepared with the help of gluten or derived from some of the wheat which is having gluten, like suji is one product of wheat. So we have to avoid suji also, that is rava, what we call it as rava. So next is the macrobiotic diet. So it is a particular diet which is dependent on the particular foods that are macro in level. So these are foods that can balance between the expansive and young energies in the body. So there are certain diet patterns which depends on this only macrobiotics alone, where we can take fish, fruit, and then grains and everything, and some mushrooms is also one sort of macrobiotic. So if we take that food, then that is going to have a certain influence. So we will be having a great impact in our mind, behavior, and health, as well as in nutrition and our weight reduction also, if you follow certain patterning in this 5 type of types. So once if you become paleo board, then you can choose vegans, and sometimes you choose raw foodies where you'll have high nutrition, and sometimes gluten free, that is going to reduce inflammation and the mind behaviors, bad behaviors and thinking, negative thinking, everything, it can be reduced. So next is the type of diet that is followed. Classification of diet is something a 4-6 group of diet which is commonly called as classified as omnivorousness, where you will be eating both vegetarian as well as the meat, and vegetarianism where you will be included with milk products but devoid of fish and the meat. And next is pescetarianism, where you will be devoid of meat. And next is veganism, where you will not be allowed to take even the milk, meat, egg and the fish. So next is raw diet. So this is one part of diet where you'll be eating foods only in a raw manner, and this is the last type of category which you haven't seen in the before category, like fruity fruitarianism, which is you'll be asked to eat only fruits as a main food of source of carbohydrates. So next is your different types of diets, nutritious diets that is available for us, so which I have mentioned here. So this is all just a less accountable one. So here I have mentioned about 10 to 15, but actually I know even more diet patterns than this. According to me, there are about more than 35 diet patterns which I can explain you in detail, but these are the some of the common diets that is practiced widely in the country as well as in the world. So now the trendings are keto diet and the paleo diet and the South Beach diet and intermediate fasting diet is the common diets that is having been practiced in the country like Asia continent and the India also. So we believe that these diets will have a great impact on reducing the weight. So with this different types of weight, you will all be collapsed or confused. What are these types of diets actually? Which one I should follow, and why this much of diet pattern is given, and when should I take the particular diet? That is the thing that you should work out in person based on your family history or what type of structure you have or what type of structure you want. So that is the clearance that I am going to give in detail about the concept of diet in balanced diet. So you need to work out on your specific diet pattern and the hereditary factors that you have in your house members and the grandparents. Then you should take up certain initiatives to choose your balanced diet. So first let me define you what is actually a balanced diet. So as we all know, something which is nutritious has always a great impact. So when you take this nutrition in a less quantity, so then that is going to have a less impact on your diet. So anything that is less or that is high is going to be defective for you in accumulating some diseases. So the thing is, you can get the nutrition at the appropriate level, then you are going to be the healthy person. So that is the balanced diet concept. So here I am going to tell you about the certain groups of balanced diet. So these are the food groups that is present in the balanced diet. As I said earlier, I have said there are three groups. So one is carbohydrate, another one is protein, and another one is fat. So this is the thing that is given at the part of our pyramid. So this is a common diet pattern where you'll have much of grains to be taken into your food, and a portion of fruits, and a portion of vegetables, and a portion of meat or milk alternatives, and then a small portion of fat. So this thing is a common method that we follow in our diet in the Asian food type diet pattern also. But according to the balanced diet, this is not the right pattern actually. So here the thing is, grains is given high importance in our food. So usually we used to have a plate full of meal, and other side we have some vegetables, we have some dals, and we have some sweets, and then we have some fat fried items, everything. So it is like this proportion we are having that particular pattern of dieting. So actually in balanced diet, the ratio of the thing is different, totally different. So here I am going to explain you in detail about the exact portion of dieting. So what you have to do is, so 25% of your food can be grains. So that is rich in carbohydrates. So this is the quantity of your grains or rich carbohydrate sources should be in this portion, that is 25%. So accordingly 40% should be your vegetables, fruits and everything, and that should be your rich in vitamins and minerals, and the rest of the 25% can be your protein items, which can be a dal for vegetarians or which can be a meat, egg for other peoples. And the next 10% is the fats that we can take in balanced diet. So this is the exact proportion of balanced diet which is going to create a good behavior, positive thinking and the balanced structure in your health as well as physical structure. So one thing that we should keep in mind is always we should have a balanced diet in every part of the meal. So we used to have food in the morning, afternoon and in the evening, right? So in the morning you should take food in a balanced diet way. So that is 25% should be your grains, and then 25% should be your proteins, and then 40% should be your vitamins and minerals, and 10% should be your fat. So with this as a pattern, you should always have 3 meals a day, that is in the morning breakfast and the afternoon lunch and in the night dinner. So what should I follow? What type of pattern of diet that I should follow in my life is something that you should work out with your body mass index. So if your family have a diabetic history, then what you should choose low carbohydrate diet. So if you are at high risk, then you can choose your therapeutic diet or preventary diet. Otherwise you can go for a balanced diet which will have a great impact. So don't use unnecessarily paleo diet, don't go for intermittent fasting or fasting. I forgot to say about intermittent fasting. So this is the type of diet which you should be in fasting for about 12 hours in a day. So usually in balanced diet itself we are doing this intermittent fasting. So guess in the night we used to have our dinner by 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. So next day morning till next day morning 9 o'clock we are not going to have any food. So this balanced diet is itself a intermittent fasting system where you will have a food only after 12 hours of fasting. So if you practice balanced diet in every meal serving, that is morning, afternoon and night, then it is going to be a particular perfect diet for maintaining our structure. So if you are at high risk of hypertension or some other disease, or you are having disease, then you can choose specific diet. So now at this stage you calculate your body mass index and find out that your body mass index is higher for your weight or height, and then if you have higher weight, then go for low carbohydrate diet and then reduce the weight and balance the work out on balanced diet to maintain the BMI for your height and weight. So with this I am ending the concept of balanced diet. So I take this opportunity to thank every person who has attended this seminar and got benefited. So I thank all the organizing secretaries and the students who have been here for the past half an hour with me and knowing about the facts of different dieting patterns and the types of dietings and the influence of dieting and how you should work out on balanced diet. So keep one thing in mind. So if you are perfect at right now, then follow the balanced diet. If you are at high risk, follow a certain specific diet and regularize your specific disease or anything disorders you have, then come back to balanced diet, because balanced diet is the only thing that is going to give you mindfulness and body fullness of happiness and relaxation. So never choose your dietary pattern unnecessarily to follow some personalities. So although you'll be lean, what you will do is you will go for paleo diet since you have a craving for non-vegetarian. Don't do that. That is going to have a harmful effect. So once you leave that paleo diet, you will again put on weight. So you have to follow the balanced diet So if you are at high risk, then follow specific diets, choose your diet, and then bring back your structure or disease and then to a normal level with continuous monitorance help, and then go for choosing your balanced diet then and there. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunities. Make use of this workshop in a great manner, and then use all the lectures that is going to be provided in this workshop and get benefit.